Venezuela's opposition leader still making the rounds here in Washington after talks with President Trump at a visit to Capitol Hill. On Thursday, María Corina Machado spoke to reporters at the Heritage Foundation this afternoon, a day after gifting her own Nobel Peace Prize to President Trump, which, by the way, the committee says you can't do. It's not transferable. She expressed praise for the U.S. raid that captured former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro.
As Venezuelans, we are absolutely grateful to President Trump, his team, his administration, and the people of the United States, because it took a lot of courage to do what he did. And he did it, yes, on behalf of the American people, but also because he cares for the people of Venezuela. And he told me that yesterday.
We are learning new details on exactly how many people were killed in that pre-dawn U.S. operation. The country's defense minister says 47 Venezuelan military personnel were killed. We're learning that CIA Director John Radcliffe traveled to Venezuela to meet with the acting president, Delcy Rodriguez. In Caracas on Thursday, U.S. official says he told her that Venezuela can no longer be a safe haven for America's adversaries, particularly narco-traffickers. CNN's global affairs analyst Kim Dozier is here. I wonder what you think of this Radcliffe meeting there. Is that him giving a seal of approval to Delcy Rodriguez or putting her on notice, or perhaps both?
I think both. I mean, he's the highest ranking Trump administration official who can safely travel there, take the temperature, and also lay down the law and say, you know, we're serious about these things and the pressure will stay on. We have to see progress in all of these areas. The hard part this week has been watching María Corina Machado do this delicate and humiliating dance of trying to stay on Trump's good side so that he will eventually support elections and a transition of power inside Venezuela. Yeah,
I mean, right up to and including giving him her Nobel Peace Prize. But it seems that Delcy Rodriguez is doing the same sort of charm offensive to some degree, because President Trump has praised her just as well, saying she's a great leader. Well, one thing that Trump has not said is that he's in any rush towards a democratic transition there or setting up elections. It'll come in good time, in effect.
Trump has made clear that what he's looking for is enough stability in the existing government to stop the narco traffickers, rob Russia and China of Venezuelan oil, and also cut off Venezuelan oil and support to Cuba, hoping that that will be the next domino to fall. And if that means keeping an authoritarian government in power, he's fine with that. It makes a certain degree of sense in that Venezuela is this almost tribal system of interlocking factions that have been taking money from the oil and drug industry. And if you go after the people at the top, a massive civil war of people who will be cut off from this gravy train could ensue.
That's the point, is that the government is the narco trafficker.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't just Nicolas Maduro who was dealing in this stuff. They all had their fingers in the pot. So they have to suddenly find God, or just say, well, if I stay in the business, I might get plucked by a U.S. Special Operations team as well.
Well, now you see this competition between Delcy, who is saying to the U.S. government, I can maintain stability, give you access to the resources, and sure, we'll cut off the narco traffickers. The problem is some of the people below her are not going to be taking these orders. Some of the hinterlands outside of the urban areas in Venezuela are really run as little fiefdoms by generals who operate as de facto drug lords. So in the short term, she's probably going to be able to keep the Trump administration happy, and Machado's just going to need to bide her time, wait for when the cracks start showing and the people start getting angry with the fact that resources, that the economy still isn't getting any better, and that's when Machado can step in and say, hey, there need to be elections now, and we've got a plan.
In terms of Congress's role, it just swung and missed on a war powers resolution, as Josh Hawley flipped in the end. Now you have the president rattling the saber to attack Iran again. I mean, is Congress standing in the way at all of President Trump's quite expansive use of military powers, not just in Venezuela, Iran?
Well,
you name the next target, Greenland.
So far, it hasn't blown back on the White House. And unless Trump still might go ahead with some sort of strike on Iran, which could produce violence against U.S. bases in the region, U.S. targets in the region, ballistic missiles aimed at Israel. I think the reason they had to call off the attack right now, one of the main reasons, other than the Iranian regime saying, no, we're not going to execute anyone, is that they don't have a carrier strike group in the Gulf to protect Israel and those bases. But if something causes a massive loss or even a fairly large loss of U.S. troops or U.S. life, then Congress is going to sit up and take notice.
Kim Dozier, always good to have you. Thanks so much.
Thanks.